Good morning. Welcome back to Portsmouth This Week. This is the 19 June 2015 edition. Our guest today is Justin May, the new Melville Campground Manager, and I'd like to welcome you to the show.
Thank you very much.
You took over operations at the Melville Campground this year, and I think everybody in town is hoping you'll make a real success of this because it's such a beautiful area. I'd like to talk about the campground, but I think before we get into that, could you talk a little bit about your background and how you got into this business?
Yeah, sure. We kind of backed our way into this business. I've been in sales, marketing, business development, manufacturing operations for the majority of my career. My wife and I wanted to make a career change about 5.5, 6 years ago. So we were looking at multiple business opportunities around the country, mainly in the Northeast and Midwest. And as it happened, my wife's family has been in the camping industry for a number of years. And the time we spent up at, which is now our park, Whispering Pines Campground in South County, Rhode Island, really opened my eyes. It was a pretty amazing experience to go and be a part of a business where everyone shows up with a smile on their face. Whereas compared to the other businesses I've been in the past, everyone shows up with a problem or a deadline that's unattainable. It's up to you to, fix everything and make them happy. So with the campgrounds, it's great because people show up ready to have a great vacation, a great weekend, a great night away from home, and it's just up to you to stay out of their way and let them have a good time. So it's a really rewarding business to be a part of, and we've enjoyed our past 4.5 years being in the campground industry, and I've been working diligently to grow our number of parks, and always looking for new management opportunities. And so when the Melville Ponds project came across our desk and we came up here and visited the park, I was just amazed and excited because it really is a beautiful piece of property in Rhode Island. I think it is one of the prettiest parks, certainly the most serene park in the state of Rhode Island, and I think all that it needs is a little bit of marketing, and we need to let people know that it's here and it's available. And
this can be a part of that, I hope. How big are your other campgrounds, and how do they compare with Melville?
The two other parks, they're both in South County, Rhode Island. One is in just outside Westerly in Bradford, Rhode Island. That's Ashway RV Park. That is a brand new park. It was built from the ground up, and our company handles some of the back office operations of that park. And my father-in-law actually runs and operates that park. This is their first year open to the public for an entire season, and it is a open concept park, which is more of a resort style park. Wide open, every site is full hookup, water, electric, cable, internet, brand new facilities, really a great place.
How many spaces is
that one has 260 sites.
Okay, that's pretty good size.
And is very close to the beach. Our other property, which is the oldest property that we own, is Whispering Pines Campground. That's in Hope Valley, Rhode Island, and that was started by a family by the name of Goodwin in the mid-'60s, and has been an operating family campground since that time. That property has 213 sites, has daily activities, a pool, a catch and release fishing pond, and is more geared toward traditional wooded camping and family atmosphere. So Melville fits into that perfectly, not only geographically, because it's
a different part of the bay.
We're on Aquidneck Island, a great location, a unique location. It's a very quiet park. Many of our visitors come here to enjoy events on the island, and certainly Newport. Great for the other parks because the calls that we've traditionally received into those reservation lines asking how far we are away from, Middletown, Portsmouth, Newport, Bristol, we'd have to tell them we're 40 minutes away. And they'd still stay with us, some of them. Sure. But now we can tell them, well, we have a sister campground, Melville Ponds. You can walk them through the pictures we have on the website, and we book them up here. So it's a great synergy between the three parks.
Yeah, I should mention that there's information available on Melville Ponds at the campsite if anybody's interested going down. The brochure is also available at the at the town hall.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
So now what's the size of Melville? It's a lot smaller in terms of numbers.
Melville has 123 sites currently, and there are a large number of dry sites at Melville. They're beautiful, and I say dry site, I have no water, no electric, and shared water between, half a dozen sites or so.
Okay.
There are roughly 40 of those, 40 and change, and then there's an additional 80 sites that and change that have either full hookup, which is water, electric, and sewer, or just water and electric. Now, one of the reasons why the town was willing to extend such a long contract to a management company was so that we could make the significant investment that's going to be necessary in Melville to bring it up to current camping standards. And that's going to require electric, water work, some sewer work over the next couple of years.
How many, now you also do seasonal camping where I guess people can leave their trailers or their RVs there for the whole season.
Well, yeah, in a seasonal package, all three of our parks offer seasonal camping packages, and it's at a reduced rate for the entire season. You can come, and it's your site, and you're home away from home. With the seasonal package, then you are also allowed to pay an additional fee for winter storage.
Okay, so that was my next question, because as a trailer owner, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And at Melville, we also have an unsecured storage area where people can come in and store on a monthly basis, and we have quite a few campers doing that currently.
Yeah. One of the questions that immediately popped into my mind was whether you have Wi-Fi or not.
Yes, and unfortunately, we hope to have Wi-Fi right now. When we first visited the property, where the property is, it has residential around it, some light industrial, and from marina on the other side. We assumed that there would be high-speed internet connectivity already to the property, at least close to the property. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So we've been working with the town of Portsmouth and the Economic Development Office and Finance Office, and they were able to work with us and get us some good contacts with Cox Communications. And we signed 3 weeks ago a long-term agreement with Cox, and they are working now through the permitting process to bring high-speed internet to the park. Now, we've already invested in the infrastructure that we need to have all the antennas and supply that internet to our campers. It's ready to go. All we need to do is be able to plug in. So we're hoping that's going to happen in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
What other kind of amenities do you have at the campground?
At Melville Ponds, of course, we're going to have internet coming very soon, which is a big thing for campers these days. We have horseshoe, volleyball, children's playground. We're in close proximity to the ponds, the Melville Ponds, and that seems to be a popular pastime to go fish those ponds.
Yeah, they stock those ponds every year.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. We offer bathhouses, men's and women's bathhouse. The men's bathhouse, we're currently remodeling. The women's bathhouse is a newer build, very nice facility, and it's just a beautiful little quiet campground.
Yeah, it is. I was over there. I visited yesterday, and as I said, I've been there before. It's just a beautiful spot. Do you have any, in the out years here, do you have any planned upgrades or changes to the?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we're internet's the big one that we're working on right now. The men's bathhouse was in a state of disrepair, to say the least, and we're working hard at remodeling that. That'll be done this summer. We are taking an existing structure on the property, and we're trying to complete by this summer a coin laundry facility, so that campers have a place to do some laundry if they're staying there for longer term. If they go to the beach and come back, they'll have a washer and dryer.
Speaking of the beach, one of the things we talked about yesterday I thought was fascinating was this idea of kayaks. You know, and you want to talk about what we were talking about yesterday. I guess you've talked to Tim Dumdar, the
yeah, and there was
Sandy Boy Beach guy?
Yeah, they had mentioned a plan to build a kayak rack at the beach, and you could purchase or rent slots in that rack. And what we would like to do in the future, once they get that completed, is purchase a number of those racks for the campground and have those kayaks available to our campers.
So they're right on the beach, and all they got to have to do is go down there and
yeah, that's the
off.
idea. Yeah, wouldn't that be a neat thing?
Yeah, that would be neat.
Have at your disposal.
Yeah, I think that, and we're not, actually things like bicycles don't really work in Portsmouth. We're too spread out, I think. And besides, they have that down in Newport. Dogs. I know dogs are probably allowed, right?
Absolutely.
And what are your rules about dogs?
Well, we just we kept the rules in place that the town always had for dogs. Your dog is allowed on the campground property.
Are there any?
But it has to be leashed, and we have to have your vaccination records on file.
Okay. Is there any number that you
can't
exceed?
Yeah, we say two dogs per site.
2 dogs per site. Okay.
It keeps it manageable.
Yeah, that's good. I have 3 dogs, but that's okay.
Well, if they're small, we might be able to
unfortunately,
work with you.
Okay. How do you advertise the campground besides your brochures and things? Do you guys have an internet presence? You do, I think, Camp Roadie.
We
right?
do. CampRoadie.com. It's CAMPRHODY.com is the umbrella that covers all 3 of the campgrounds in Rhode Island, and from there you can feed into the 3 specific sites. We also have developed a Facebook page, which has done really well for us so far, for the Melville Ponds Campground. We also do a lot of paid advertising on the internet through Google, Yahoo, different search engines, which really has paid off. We've found for all the parks. The majority of our campers, when they come, especially for the first time, to camp with us, at least part of their decision has been made based on information that they've gleaned from the internet. So it's important to have a presence on all of the review sites like TripAdvisor, Yelp, etc.,
Sure.
And the search engine.
Well, I think it's great that we have somebody with that kind of background, so you already know how to do this stuff.
Yeah, it is important. It really is important today. We do use some of the traditional marketing channels as well. We sent Ashway RV Resort to 3 of the larger regional camping shows this winter, and they took with them all of our Melville material as well, and it went over great. People are excited to see something that they didn't know about, and it's amazing how many people that are out there that are avid campers that just didn't know Melville existed.
Well, that's right. It's really a shame, and now we have 123 reasons why they might try to make reservations.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, what kind of occupancy rate do you generally have about now, or sort of the beginning of the summer?
Well, unfortunately for Melville, we don't have a lot of great records to look back and be able to tell what the historical occupancy has been. But speaking with some of the workers that came back and are working for us, and some of the campers that have come back this year, I think we're doing really well on our occupancy rate. Most of our weekends we've been completely sold out, if not very close to being sold out of our water and electric sites. This weekend will be sold out, and we have quite a few tent check-ins this weekend, and a lot of kids aren't out of school yet, so it's not our traditional high season yet.
That's right,
we're really excited about the festivals. We're completely booked and have been for 2 months now for Folk Festival, and for the Newport Jazz Festival, we're on our way to being booked out.
How was the Volvo race? Did that
It was actually
really
surprisingly well. We did very well for the Volvo race. We had a lot of people come off the road, actually, that were looking for a place to stay, that stayed with us. We had a lot of customers come down from Canada and stay with us that were visiting the Volvo race, and a number of guests from Europe that came over for the Volvo race.
You told me about that, and you want to talk about what I guess folks are doing? They're taking tours of New England back up or down, and
that's our foreign market. We have a lot of Europeans will come either into the south on the eastern seaboard, rent a camper, work their way north, and leave from Boston, or vice versa. Come in to Boston or go north and come back this way. So we have quite a few reservations that we make from Europe, and we have Europeans on the campground every single week, at least 1, 2, or 3 of them. One just pulled in last night after you left, just came in off the road from Germany, I believe. But we've had English, Dutch, you name it.
Well, that's great. I think once the word gets out, because think about it. I mean, you can stay on Aquidneck Island. You got Newport, you got beaches, you got ocean, water. It's just, you know.
No, it's a phenomenal location and a very unique location. And if you don't want to drive and you don't want to park in Newport, we have a bus stop just walking distance from the campground. You can jump on the bus and go right downtown.
Yeah, that would feed well into if we got the train up and running, going back and forth too, if they had to stop somewhere.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the initial thought was if we ever did that, and I don't know if this is possible or not, but was having maybe a thing down at Melville at the inside the gates there.
Okay.
At down by the marina.
Mm-hmm.
And having some sort of a terminus there where people could park and then get on the train.
It'd be a great resource for us.
Fit in nicely.
Mm-hmm.
What is the average length of stay at the campground?
The average length of stay right now has been 4 nights for Melville. And that seems to be, we usually see between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8 nights is our average length of stay. So that makes sense for this time of year, 4 nights.
Do you have any sense of what people do when they're here? I mean, you're here for 4 or 5 days, let's say. Mm-hmm. Do they spend all their time in Newport? Do they?
The vast majority, yeah. They spend their days in Newport. They shop in Portsmouth in Middletown for their groceries and that sort of thing. But Newport absolutely drives the tourist market on this island. And we're happy, if nothing else, to be a bedroom community for that.
Yeah. As I told you yesterday, I think there are some things in Portsmouth that they might be interested in doing. I dropped off those historic site driving tour, for example, from the Historical Society. You think some of your guests would be interested in doing stuff like that?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely.
It's very close, and when they get tired of the Newport traffic and stuff.
No, it's an exciting thing to think about, and we'd like to take some of those resources, put them up on our website, and have those available to our customers before they show up, so that they can have an idea of some things that they can do locally. Yeah. We have had a number of questions. People will ask us historical questions that, frankly, we don't have the answer to right now. So all that literature is extremely helpful, and we're excited about being able to pass that along to the customers.
Well, that's great, because we also have some really fine restaurants, I think, in Portsmouth, and we have Greenvale Vineyards, which is one of the top vineyards in the area, and they're always having events. I think I emailed you something about an event they're coming up with this weekend, for example. And I would think if you're camping and you've done the Newport thing, and you might want to find somebody a little bit closer, that one of those things would be great. So the key is just connecting up with you so you can have it on your desk when people walk in.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been putting together a local attractions list and a local restaurants list with phone numbers, hours, menus when we can get them, and having that available in the front office.
Sure.
And once we get that completed, we want to give a handout along with your map to every camper that arrives, so that they have that at their disposal. And if they don't want to drive down to Newport, or they're not doing something, they can just stay local.
They can go down to Island Park. They can go down to Valley Inn. There's a bunch of places they can go to. Fieldstones is another good one. And I think that might be useful for you guys to have there. The other thing I'd recommend is that you and your wife go down there and have dinner at some of these places.
We've been trying. We've been trying.
What it looks like.
It's a long list to get through. Well, but we have certainly been trying to get it.
I can help you prioritize that after the program.
Thank you.
But I do think, and meet with the owners. I mean, they're all kind of local people, and it's interesting because I think we ought to showcase Portsmouth more than we do here.
Oh, I can't agree more. And I've got to be honest with you, the business owners that we have met in the area to date, along with the town departments, public works, the town officials, everybody has treated this like just a phenomenal working relationship, partnership with us, and we're really excited to be here.
Yeah, we're all bucking for you.
Yeah.
We want this thing to be a
success. We can tell, and it's great. It's really great.
Well, it's good. There's a house on the property that I guess the former manager used to live in. What do you plan on doing with that?
That house, we're in the process of remodeling. We stripped everything out of the home. We repainted, cleaned the carpets, did some repair work, working on some electrical work. Within the next 2 weeks, we're going to have it fully furnished, and we're going to have that available as a weekly rental, vacation rental property.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
I think so.
Nice addition to the campground.
There are a lot of, we receive a lot of requests looking for rentals for people. These are people who don't want a tent or don't own a trailer that are looking for this location.
Yeah.
Need a place to stay. So I think it'll do very well.
It's got to be cheaper than a hotel in Newport in summertime.
Yeah, they get kind of pricey, and they fill up fast.
Yeah, they do. That's right. What is your relationship with the surrounding Melville Park? That's such a beautiful area too. The trails are great.
Oh, it's a huge amenity for the campground because we back right into the park
Yeah.
system, and really feels like the whole thing's one
Have you met
unit.
with the park committee, and all those guys are really doing great work?
That's another group that's been extremely helpful and has treated us like partners, and we hope to treat them the same way. We're told them anything we can do to help them, and we felt it's been vice versa from their end. Anything we can do to help make their lives easier, please let us know. We've attended a couple park committee meetings and hope to go to more as schedule permits, but they do a great job, and that's a beautiful park. And I'm surprised how many people we've run into in the local area that don't necessarily know about the park and the campground, but haven't spent any time down there. They really should.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous place.
Yeah, well, we did some things with them during our 375th anniversary a few years ago, and it was fascinating going back and just walking the trails. They're so beautiful.
Oh, they are.
So nicely laid out, you know. So.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. They do a great job, and that's my hat's off to them
And
because
it's right next door to you guys, so it's be a
it's
great
all
asset.
volunteer effort on their part. They do a phenomenal job.
Yeah. I've been in campsites, and you were saying at the beginning of the program that you got into the campsite business because everybody's a happy camper.
Yeah.
But sometimes there aren't happy. Sometimes things don't work.
Uh-huh.
You live at the site in Whispering Pines. I
Yeah,
think,
in Hope
right?
Valley, correct.
Hope Valley. Do you have somebody 24/7 here at this site that takes care of
We do. We have a one person on site that is there 24/7. So in the case of a late night, either
does he
probably won't
live
be
there?
an
Does he have
emergency, but any issues in the middle of the night, we have someone there that can be called on at a
and
moment's
does he
notice.
live it there in a trailer or?
Yeah, it's we have a work camper. It's work camping. People will come, bring their camper, live on site for the season, and trade you their services.
Manager, yeah.
And he's been great. He's been really wonderful to have on site. But our office, we have also extended the hours in our office so that we're open into the later hours of the evening.
Now, what are your office hours there?
Right now, we run from 10 until 7 p.m. And during season, we'll extend those hours from 9 till 9. On the weekends now, we're open till 9 as well.
Now, what kind of things do you have in that little store there?
Oh, that goes back to one of the improvements. We took the store, which was basically an empty space when we took over, and we remodeled that building when you first pull in, so that we now have a store with shelving with products that people can buy. If they forget a bottle of water or something for their camper,
Bug spray
they can buy all that stuff right there. We also have some nice logoed Melville Ponds merchandise that you can purchase, and all the essentials like your firewood, your propane, you can purchase right there now.
Yeah, that's great. We have a new recreation director. We've never had, well, I guess we had a long time ago, but we haven't recently had a recreation director. What is your relationship with him, Bob Campion?
Yeah, well, he's come down. He's visited with us, and he's been great to work with so far. And I hope we can do a lot with him.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy, and I think one of the things he might be able to do is link all these different things we're talking about. Our attractions, our other places, other businesses.
Well, that's what's been good so far, and he's the one who brought the information to us about the kayak rental at the beach, and I think he'll be a great resource.
Yeah, that'd be really. I love that kayak idea. I think that's great. Who are your primary competitors? I guess you'd have to be somebody in the island, and I guess you'd say what the beach areas down there.
I guess so, but a couple of those are 100% seasonal. They're sold out. There's no tent camping available.
They're 100% seasonal.
So there's not a lot of competition here, to be honest with you, in this geographic region. There just isn't. So, and for the other campgrounds that are here, there's plenty of business for everyone. So there's not a specific competitor or group of competitors that we target here. It just goes back to beating our drums and getting the word out that we are here, and we're open and taking reservations.
If that's the case, if we're basically in our own class here on the island, it would seem to me that down the road, like 5, 10 years, you might want to expand the number of campsites if you can.
Yeah, and we will be looking at that. Our first priority is to bring up the level of service to the existing campsites. That goes back to infrastructure issues. We need to improve upon the electrical system that's currently in place and the water system that's currently in place. But within the next 2-3 years, we definitely want to expand the number of sites, and maybe even turn some of the sites that are currently tent sites, turn those into camper sites that can support a water and electric
with facilities.
Yeah. But there's a definite need, and there's a lot of property there that's gone unused.
Now, one of the things that I think that would make it a lot better for people with kids is a pool or something down the road.
Well, that was in our proposal. That was one of our ideas that we wanted to look at for future development, and we've been doing informal surveys since we took over of all the campers, and it seems to be a bit mixed whether that would be a popular amenity or not. So the jury's still out, but it's not a closed book yet.
What are the popular amenities? Wi-Fi, obviously.
Oh yeah, Wi-Fi is number one.
Yeah.
The most important thing about a campground, and I think just about any campground owner would tell you this, is you have to have Wi-Fi, you have to have clean bathrooms and passable roads. So those are our first priorities.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it's icing on the cake.
And if people haven't been down there, I have to tell them that Sullivan Road there that goes into the campground, it's not paved, but it's a lot smoother than it was.
Oh my gosh, yes,
Dave Key and the DPW guys did some work over there.
Yeah, we have to send out a big thank you to Dave Q and all those guys that came down there and did the work, because it was not passable in I think March, and they did a great job, and we can drive down that road now.
Yeah, without getting in a pothole, ruin your tires. What can the town do to help increase your visibility? Is there anything more that you can think of?
Well, to be completely honest with you, the town has done a phenomenal job so far. They've met every one of our requests, and like I said, been a great partner in this endeavor so far. I would suggest to any of the people of Portsmouth watching this, let your friends know. Come down and see us. We have free coffee in the store at all the open hours. Come down, have a cup of coffee. Check out the property, see what we have to offer. Let your friends and family know, because it's just important to get the word out that we're here.
Now, one of the things I probably should ask you, but maybe it's good at the end, what is your season specifically?
The season traditionally, and we're keeping the same season that the town of Portsmouth traditionally have, and that is open April 1st through November 1st.
Okay.
And which is great for us because our other campgrounds close down a bit earlier than that. So for all the people up doing their color tours in the Northeast, we now have a place for them to stay when they're heading back south.
Good.
Yeah, it's good season.
That's great. As I say, I think people should get down there and see your place for themselves.
Absolutely.
As you mentioned.
Everybody's welcome.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell the people in Portsmouth and our viewers about your campground?
No, just come down and see us.
Okay.
We appreciate everyone's well wishes.
Yeah, well, that's great. I wish you all success there in this endeavor, and people need to remember that a lot of what you're doing down there also helps the town in terms of revenues down the road.
Without a doubt, campgrounds have a significant impact on communities.
By the way, you mentioned a couple of guys that really help you a lot, and I'd like to mention your name, Bill Clark,
Absolutely,
our business manager, and Jim Lathrop, our finance manager.
Yeah, those
both great
guys have been instrumental in getting us up and running smoothly.
Justin, thanks very much for coming aboard today.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
That's great. And this is Doug Smith signing out. We'll see you next time on Portsmouth This Week.